So if anybody I know it's been like 2 weeks now, and I definitely don't remember in my current state. So if anybody wants to do like a recap of last session, or even just like the ending of it.
We fought kobolds in their in the place where they were staying, and we killed them, and we stayed, and we rested.
Oh yeah.
Well, what started out, we just got back, right? And then we went and investigated the amphitheater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we noticed that there was a roost, a nest in there, and found some items in there, right? Then we went and cleared out. Didn't we clear out another temple before we found the entrance to the main temple, or no? Didn't we clear out another temple before we found... But, well, I know that at some point we made it to the main temple, so we know where the entrance is to the...
Yeah, you found the Tomb of the Nine Gods.
But I thought, wasn't there... Didn't we do something in between the amphitheater and finding that entrance, or no? Oh, we just cleared out some... We cleared out some buildings. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went and inspected the marketplace, and that's when we came across the Cobalt platoon with the dude. God, what was his name? The guy that was trying to become a dragon.
Kakarot.
Say what?
Yeah, the Cobalt King or whatever. He was on a pile of coin, and he was trying to become a dragon.
Is that a squeaky toy? Sorry.
It was.
I think that was the end of it, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah, we stopped after that.
Yeah, so you guys are essentially resting in this cobalt basement underneath a ruined market bazaar in Omu. And as soon as my stupid stream title will update, I will say more words.
Stream title?
Yeah, it was just my stream title was still titled off my Curse of Strahd game, so I was trying to change it. There we go, finally. So, when you guys are done with your rest in the kobolds, essentially it was like an old wine cellar that these kobolds had kind of appropriated, or Kakarot specifically had appropriated as his dragon's lair, essentially. And I believe that he said that Seirak had promised him that he would help him become an actual dragon if the kobolds would be his spies, essentially. And he wanted you guys to forfeit all of your own treasure to him. Garn didn't think that was a very good deal, so you guys just slaughtered them. But they did a reasonable amount of damage. Like, they did more damage to you guys than the King of Feathers did.
Well, those dogs were kind of kicking it up.
Yeah, the dogs were good. And that guy...
Oh, the alchemist.
The alchemist, yeah.
Did some good splash damage.
His potion recharged, I think, like twice, because that was a recharge ability. But when you guys wake up in the morning, Sigismund, Galadia actually speaks to you.
Ooh.
She says, and you guys can actually all kind of hear this. Like, she just speaks out from the sword. Like, essentially, you hear a voice, and it seems to be coming like from the sword on Sigismund's back. And Galadia says, Sigismund, when we were in the Shadowfell, I felt a presence. Someone from your past. I think that you know who I'm talking about. And she's become much stronger.
She was in the Shadowfell.
One of the other temples that had been constructed there. I believe that she was their leader. And just as much as I sensed her, I believe she sensed you as well. I think it won't be long before she comes seeking you out. I'm sure that Babar and his axe weren't the only ones who had ways to travel between that plane and ours.
Well, I hope she hurries the fuck up. But, man, that's... If I'd known that, I probably wouldn't have been so quick to leave the Shadowfell.
Gladia says, yes, one of the other temples I'm certain was dedicated to that of the Maiden of Pain. And she has gained much power since your last encounter with her.
It won't be enough. But I can't just leave the rest of the world to fend for itself to go take care of my business just yet.
Gladia says, yes, we are split on two sides. On this side is where the Atrophial is being fed. But on the other side is where, if it is birthed, it will choose its worshippers. If we can cut it off at the cord, then our purpose is better used here.
I agree. In the unlikely event that we should fail, we have a rather unpleasant way back, but a way back nonetheless. And I would turn that realm to ash.
She says, it's unwise for you to be so certain of your successes, Sigismund. When we were at the entrance to the Tomb of the Nine Gods, I sensed also a great darkness within there. There is a good chance that you, all of you, could fail.
That is true, but that has always been true.
Well,
I mean, I have nothing left to lose, so might as well go there.
Is there anything, advice that Gladia can give us to help us to not die?
Yes, don't die.
She says, yes, err on the side of caution, not confidence.
You got no problem with that with me. Wait, real quick, is Gladia, is that Siggy? Is that your god, Siggy?
No, that used to be my my guide, my celestial guide,
Okay.
but is now my paladin, my warlock patron.
But you also have a god from your paladin, right?
Yes, that is Lyra.
Do they conflict with each other? How does that work out?
Not really.
They don't conflict with each other, and they're not necessarily associated with each other in any way either. But I because Gladia is also kind of tied in with Fae as well, and but you can ask Sigismund about that. I don't need to explain it. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was. I mean, I guess the root of it that I'm getting
not
at,
not the Fae part, but the Lyra part.
I guess what I was kind of thinking of is like, if this is part of like something you have to do, finding that woman or whatever on the Shadowfell, maybe you can talk to your god to see if they can do something about the axe to like decurse it, so we can use it to get back there, maybe without losing your whatever your pact or your commitment to your god. I don't know. I'm not a paladin.
Well,
But we do know that axe gives the ability, like we've seen it make an entrance to the Shadowfell, so I don't know.
that is true.
Well,
I don't know if she. Go ahead.
Galadia and Sigismund's souls are kind of intertwined now. Like Galadia's soul is essentially being housed in Sigismund's blade, and if one dies, the other dies.
I'm talking about the great axe that we got from Babar.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
if I was to wield that axe properly, yeah, I would probably die before I ever struck a single blow with it.
I'm saying if this is part of something that your god and Gladia want you to do, maybe they can help remove the curse from it, but like using it to open up an entrance to the Shadowfell.
There is a chance. I will say I haven't spoken much to Lyra at all. We have this agreement that I will carry out her and my own revenge. Other than that, I don't really ask her for things, and she doesn't ask things of me. But if getting into the Shadowfell would give me the opportunity to get at this lady, she might lend a hand.
Just a thought, because we do know that axe does it, but I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Asking, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to ask at least before we sacrifice someone.
Galadia says, I don't think that you'll have to worry about seeking her out. Sigismund, you are one of the last bits of her unfinished business, I'm sure, and she knows that you're here now. I think that you'll find that you will see her sooner rather than later.
Good. That is good to hear, actually. I just want to make sure that she doesn't show up at a really inopportune time and risks the lives of all of you people just so I can fulfill a promise I made long ago.
Well,
No, that would never happen.
Yeah, she's definitely going now.
What can you tell us about her, Siggy?
I don't know too much about her. She's a mystery to me, really. I met her only once when she killed a lot of people and my childhood friend. I know that she is something within the Church of the Maiden of Pain. It sounds like she might have risen to something really, really bad. She is, I mean, if it makes any difference, I can assure you that she is a terrible, terrible being. And she needs to be killed.
You still have that broken blade, right, Sigismund?
I do have that.
Cool.
I intend to hammer that into her fucking face.
How nice.
I am a nice person.
Galadia says, it strains me greatly to speak out to you all like this. I must rest for a time. But Sigismund, remember, do not be so confident, or it will be the end of us both.
I understand.
And kind of like as Gladio was speaking, a faint purple glow began to kind of shine from the blade of your sword, and as Galadia kind of sinks back in to regain her strength from speaking to you guys, the purple aura kind of fades away from the blade.
So the aura represents a weakness?
I believe the aura, the purple light, is just a proof of the presence of Galadia.
Okay, gotcha.
So are we done talking with swords?
I try and talk to my sword.
Garn starts climbing out of the cellar, or wherever the hell we are again.
Yeah, you guys are roughly underneath these kind of structures here.
So we did a long rest though.
Yeah. So Garn clambers out of the cellars, and you find yourself up in the rubbled streets of this ruined bazaar here. If there were any other kobolds, it appears that they've probably scattered um, for the time being. Um, there are ruined stalls, and you can still see some of the traps that the kobolds had lay around that haven't been tripped or disabled yet, but they're pretty easy to avoid. They're not really hidden very well.
So walking toward the big thoroughway there, and if I see a trap that I can avoid, I put a T there in the ground, and
Yeah.
start waiting for everybody else to get out of here.
I stealthily follow.
I just follow.
What's the weather like outside?
It's pretty wet. I can't remember what time of day it was. I think it was like still like early in the morning or afternoon when you guys fought the kobolds. So you guys had a long rest like throughout the day. So when you come out, it's probably like nighttime. Um, so it's very dark out now because it's night and the skies above are just covered in roiling black clouds pouring down into the streets of Omu. You can even see like there along the sides of the thoroughfare. There's kind of water that's just rushing down either side into the flooded parts of the city, and you can see that uh, the the flooded portions of Omu are kind of swelling out and even becoming more sunken.
Since we've got to do this section by section, start heading south. Get this section up.
Yeah. You guys head over towards this large structure. Another one that's kind of stands out a little bit among um, some of the more crumbled parts of the city. Behind it, you can see it is one of the shrines that you'd been through. As you poke your head inside, Garn, um, you can see most of the roof of this building itself has remained intact. And why can't I move that token? Oh, I just got kicked from Roll20.
For token abuse.
But most of that structure remains in pretty good repair. Like it's not quite so worn down as much of the other buildings that you've been through, and you can see since it's like pretty dry inside still, it probably used to be some sort of like noble person's home or someone with a higher standing in Omu when it was more populated before it became like a ruined city and So there are like old. It also seems like it hasn't been like pilfered really yet. So hanging on some of the walls are like some very old looking paintings that are like very dusty and faded, um, in like very elaborate looking frameworks, like of silver or gold. Um, and then you notice like a fairly decent pool of blood in the center of the entranceway. Um, that
So
seems like it's maybe a couple days old, but it's like a fairly decent amount of blood. Like somebody sat here for a while bleeding out.
okay, looking for traps then.
You don't notice any traps, but you do notice, like in some of the like dustiness of the floor, like what appear to be like paw prints, like maybe a tabaxi or something was in here.
Oh.
Gotcha.
But it was a few days ago, and this is kind of probably a part of the escape route that the tabaxi you encountered took. And he rested here for a while, it seems like. Evelyn.
Here we go again.
Never mind.
Is this people are mispronouncing my name.
Do a ritual to detect magic and see if there's anything magical in the place.
Make an investigation check for me. Going through the home more thoroughly, you don't detect anything magical, but you do find a lot more things that would probably be considered art objects and might have a certain amount of value back in Port Nyanzaru. There's probably at least a half a dozen paintings throughout the building. You find some old like silverware that's seems like it's made from maybe platinum, uh, as well as some like dishware and stuff like that. You find some old vases, and it's probably all stuff that would have like a hefty worth, to probably one of the merchant princes, or multiple of the merchant princes.
Point it out to everybody that has a bag of holding or something, and
Yeah,
they want
there's essentially enough stuff to like hold a small auction back in Port Nyanzaru for the merchant princes themselves, and like or create a bidding war for some of these old art objects of old Omu.
Can I get a list of some of the smaller objects so I can stuff them in the loot bag?
Yeah, I'd say probably like a full set of like platinum dishware, or like silver and dishware for like a setting of 12, so like 50 plates of like dinner plates and salad plates, and maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe again like another 50 or 60 pieces of platinum silverware. A combination of probably like 12 to 14 like different kinds of vases of various sizes. Six paintings, 2 large, 2 medium, and 2 small.
I can't resist. Why do we want them if they're too small?
And there's like a big you find like a big, essentially it's kind of like a headdress. It looks like it's made of gold, and it's lined with the bridge of the crown is kind of lined with green gemstones, It's kind of like a half crown, and it looks like it's kind of like it had toppled like under a bed in the main in the master bedroom, and it just seems like nobody's like ever pilfered this building essentially. Maybe due to the fact that like a dangerous cat probably lived nearby and would scare off anybody who came close.
Okay, wonderful. I'll add those to the loot bag, guys. And girl.
Thanks.
Yeah, but nothing magical, and after you guys essentially you know, loot it like an old Afghan palace or something.
Too soon.
Yeah, you guys continue heading south probably, since you've been up through most of the northern portions of the city.
Yeah.
Um,
No, we're going to go east because you said that we have to search every place now. So I'm looking for what looks like a temple. If I don't see one, we'll go south. But right now we're going east to see if we can see one that's in that order, like that other one.
Ryan, can you purple square
oh
the
yeah.
locations as we do them too?
Did I say you have to search every?
Yeah, because I said I knew where the other two were, and you were like, "No, you got to look at things."
I don't. Know.
Wait, you said you knew where they were at?
They're down here. They look like all the other temples.
I thought he said that we would kind of know the general spots that we wanted to go to because we had an aerial view of it when we flew in.
Right, but last week or the other week, he was saying when I said I know where they are, he was like, "No, you got to search other places." That's the reason why we went to the kobolds to begin with.
Oh, I think that was just for like going this way. You guys decided to like go through some of those structures coming in this direction. Like, I mean, if I said that, I didn't mean it, but you guys can.
I thought he meant like if we were trying to loot, we had to be more specific on the locations we were looting, maybe.
Well, I think the other two are down south.
Yeah, you can go. You can go where you want to go. You don't have to like stop in every building. You can stop in every building, but you don't have to do that. If I like miscommunicated that, then that's my bad.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's one of them, you think, and where's the other one, you think?
Below it, right there.
What about the circle thing? You think that's just a palace?
I have no idea what that one is. I'm just going by what the temples look like. I mean, we may end up in there. I'm not gonna say we're not, but if we can find the other two and get into the big bad area, that's what we should do, I think.
Ryan, which building had all those the spawned gnolls that Magnus did? Because wouldn't we say that we kind of searched that out for that encounter or no?
Yeah, those would have been up in here.
Can you purple square those too?
Yeah.
The tiniest of purple squares. So should we just kind of make our way south and kind of inspect buildings on the way to the first pinged potential shrine?
Sure.
Let's do that.
Also, are we planning on circumventing the water, or are you guys trying to cross through it?
Circumventing the water, because dwarfs don't swim very well.
What?
At least in armor.
All right, let's do
Conjure
it.
seagulls.
So it looks like there's a bridge right there. So should we kind of like make our way to that bridge then?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then we can kind of like, I guess, spot check some of these buildings along the way.
Yeah. Right, this should be our next set. Right under the purple that he just drew, because that's on the way.
So there's you find some more. It's a little less, but looking through some of those buildings, you find like more trails of a couple day old blood. Um, these buildings don't seem like they really have anything of value in them. There's a lot of overgrown vines coming up through the floors of some of these ruined structures, but you do, Garn, kind of like detect smatterings of blood here and there. It seems like the whatever person that was injured came through here didn't stop for long, and they were more just kind of running through. And they probably spent more time in the previous building beforehand, but it seems like they were going the other direction.
It's all the same one-person track, or is it multiple?
You find more little tabaxi paw prints, essentially, but it just looks like a single entity that was fleeing through here while bleeding pretty heavily.
And you said it's evening right now?
Yeah, it's probably like nearing midnight or like a little after midnight. And all the structures are like very dark inside. It's even very dark outside. There's not really much that's giving you any assistance in the way of light. So even just searching is fairly difficult. Yeah, like because the dark vision's kind of like in grays, shades of grays, so it's like that's why the blood's kind of so easy to spot, because it's much darker. You find these much darker spots with your dark vision than like the rest of the just regular stuff. They leave these like very dark pools in dark vision. They kind of like stand out.
I was just trying to expand it. I wasn't trying to post that.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
it's all good.
I just hate running into Wuce every 5 seconds.
Oh, I'm not necessarily around you guys right now. But yeah, we'll have to address that at some point. Because I'd basically be invisible to most of the party since it's nighttime.
I have a question about that.
Sure.
Would he still be invisible with Devil's Sight? Like, that's not really normal dark vision.
It says
the Devil's Sight is the second Eldritch invocation I have. I can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet. So either I can see him or he's completely invisible. I don't know.
Well, since it says, I think since it says like magic, you can see even magical like darkness. Like I think that you would probably be able to still see Wuce.
Yeah, I think he should. I mean, I think that's right too.
Oh, okay, so maybe he would just be like a shadow form, kind of.
Yeah, Wuce, what do you think that like does look like to the other players? Like, what do you imagine it being like for them with you?
I would, whatever the color scheme in the Shadowfell was it like purples and reds or something?
No, it was like kind of a perpetual land of like what somebody would see through dark vision, like just shades of grays.
So yeah, I would say as I kind of exit in and out of the invisibility, you would just kind of see like kind of like a dancing outline on the areas that would be kind of like gray or purple, I guess, and black, So like almost like walking through like an invisible portal, right? Which would be like the reach or the edge of the light, if that makes sense. You ever see like how on a cloud, like a real cloudy, like broken up, partially cloudy night with a full moon, how as like the clouds come in front of them and out of front of the moon, it affects the lighting on the things on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, so it actually says while in darkness, you are invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see you in that darkness.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
like when it's like light, when there's light, you can still see him like normally.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking about the torchlight in the last battle, because any sort of light, I'm not invisible.
Yeah,
it's only in
I got you
darkness.
now. Yeah, I
And
understand
it's
it.
only to
Yeah,
it's only to creatures using dark vision.
yeah, I understand that a
So
little
like,
better now. Yeah.
yeah.
So like yeah, now where it's just like total darkness, like even Wuce could even be standing like right beside you, and if you besides if you have like don't have like devil sight, like you might hear him or something, but you would not be able to see him.
What?
So yeah,
But
to
then,
answer
like,
your question, Siggy, you would be able to see me because you're using devil sight.
And I would just see you normally?
You would just see me however you'd see anything in devil sight. I don't know
Okay.
how devil sight aesthetically works with your vision, but you would see me the same way you would see the other people using devil sight, I guess, or other humanoids.
it's probably a little
Alright.
like predator vision, like seeing magically invisible things. You know, like you see like the heat signature of their body as they're like.
And the hallucination shard like glows really brightly in your devil sight.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still not entirely sure how that works with you, but it's always available. You know that, right, Siggy?
Yeah, devil sight?
No, the hallucination shard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm considering every time something goes bad, I'm considering just letting go but the first time I do that, shit is gonna go down. Like they're gonna pop out from behind a wall like, nah, I just waited for you to do drugs and now I'm gonna stab you.
But as you guys are searching these structures, like why doesn't everybody make some perception checks for me?
How many do you want? One each?
Yeah, one each.
Just making sure.
Garn, you can kind of hear like to the west of you, off some distance on the other side of the boulevard. You can kind of hear like even through the rain and everything, it's very very faint, but like some kind of chanting or something.
Okay.
And it sounds like it's like a strange snake-like language. There's a lot of like S sounds going on.
I tell everyone I think the T are somewhere near here.
Nobody else hears it though. It's just you, very, very, very faintly through the rain.
Are you sure you're not just hearing things, Garn?
No, I'm pretty sure they're here or around here. I tell Wuce, I think they're in this direction. Not quite sure how far. I don't know if you want to go take a look.
It's coming from this way, so east. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, I can go take a look.
Yeah, you want to make a stealth check for me? So what you see is.
Oh, I meant to ask this earlier. I don't know how that invisibility, the dark vision invisibility thing would affect stealth, but it doesn't have anything specifically about it within the class feat, so I don't have any adjustment to the number.
Well, like to things with dark vision and darkness, like your stealth checks don't even matter really for the most part. But like stuff that doesn't have dark vision, it would still.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
I just didn't know how it played out.
I think it also kind of. I mean, I'd say actually, like you'd probably have advantage on stealth checks against things with dark vision in darkness, because you still might like trip or something and.
For sure, yeah. Or like step on twigs and make a crack or something.
Yeah, make sound. Still make sound, but so yeah, it'd probably give you like advantage on creatures in darkness on your stealth checks, and then regular stealth checks to things without dark vision. But it does become like somewhat complicated.
Yeah, I
But
gotcha.
as you sneak over in that direction and get a little bit closer, you can see you've. It looks like their Yuan-ti are performing some kind of ritual. You see a bunch of Yuan-ti gathered around on top of this pillar that seemed like it used to house like some sort of small temple, and on top of it, in the middle of it all, there seems to be a woman that's tied or strapped down, and there are two on either side of her with long daggers in their hands, humanoid-looking snake women who are chanting, and all the Yuan-ti around them look like to be mostly in their snake forms, but they're all kind of standing in silence watching. Why don't you make an intelligence check for me?
Ten.
10. Yeah, so I mean, I imagine you don't get super close, and you try to see if you can tell like who it is that looks like they're about to be sacrificed, but it does look like these Yuan-ti are performing some sort of ritualistic sacrifice at the moment.
How far did I travel from the group?
I think it was like I can tell you the exact distance real quick. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
260 feet.
That's how far I am from the group?
Yeah.
How far am I from the shit going down?
That depends on how close you decide to get. As soon as you go over the um, boulevard off to the other side, you know, the chanting gets louder and louder, and then you kind of come around a ruined structure, and then probably 50 or 60 feet away is when you first start to see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm seeing all of this, I don't know how close I would have to be to see all of this versus how close I feel I would get while being safely.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
stealth.
probably about at the edge of the range of your dark vision. So for you, 90 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're doing some kind of ritual. Like, can I tell like what stage they're at? Or are they like right? Just like the weapon they're using to sacrifice it real
So
close to them,
yeah,
or is there still like some
the two
off
Yuan-ti that are
going
on
on?
the two Yuan-ti that are on the top of the platform, as you kind of come slink up alongside one of the buildings, they're essentially raising their arms over their heads with their daggers between their hands clasped, and it looks like they're about to finish whatever rites that they are reciting and plunge their daggers down into this woman that is tied down or unconscious or something uh, on top of the pillar or on top of the um, ruined temple here on the stone bench that's resting on top of everything. It does look like a little like Azaka's token, but it's not. As they finish their slithering words, both of them jam their daggers down into the chest of the woman. She makes no sound, and you can see blood begin to start pouring out of her chest cavity. Essentially, they draw their blades down and open up from her like sternum down to her belly, and they begin to like pull out her entrails and like eat them essentially.
Okay, I'm
And
going
then
to.
the other snakes begin to like move in closer, and you assume maybe to also consume the woman.
So I caught the very end of the ritual. Now they're actually just killing her, I guess, or the beginning of the ritual is what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm going to stealthily head back towards the group, get within messaging range, and shoot out a cantrip message to, I guess, Garn, telling him what's going down, and that basically they're already opened her up and they're feasting on. It's a her, right?
Yeah.
It's the,
Okay.
whoa.
Yeah. I'm fucking this all up.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know what was going on.
My roll 20 is like kind of lagging today for some reason, so I'm just like I can't grab onto anything very well.
It's feeling your pain.
Yeah.
I turn around and look at everyone and say, "Grab your weapons. Deontay are about to kill somebody in sacrifice. Let's go."
Did I hear you say that too? Did you message me back that?
I said, "We're coming."
If I heard you say about to sacrifice or about to kill somebody, I would use another message to say, I think that person's already dead, but you know.
She still has death.
Wild guess.
I mean, entrails are exposed. I guess maybe if it's like, maybe they got some constitution and we could patch them up.
Well, I'm going to go and take care of them.
I'll follow.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
I guess.
I'm ready to pounce. Oh, also, Ryan,
Yeah.
I meant to ask, since Evelyn's here, I guess I'm not using nails, right? 'Cause she's using nails.
No, you still
Is that how that
you
works?
can still have it.
Okay, I was just wanting to clarify before we got.
Evelyn,
Some
the short sword that you found from Bag of Nails' lair, I pilfered it from your inventory and I gave it to somebody.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No problem. I
That
could
would've been me.
use it anyway.
Yeah.
You don't use it?
No. I have a pretty great sword.
Dang, nice. All right. Well, I'm gonna kind of get in position, and once I see the rest of the group kind of getting within range, I'm gonna try and sneak surprise attack one of these mofos.
Yeah. So if you guys want to sneak up on them, you can make some stealth checks if you like.
You want me to roll another stealth check?
No, you can use your 22. And we will attempt a very complicated surprise round with a shitload of tokens.
Dave, you're kind of getting those low rolls out of the way, huh?
I did not mean to roll with advantage. Whoops.
Should we select your tokens and
Yeah, you can
roll
roll
initiative
roll
as well?
initiative. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
In the let's do this in the empty red circle. When you select your token, put your current stealth check roll for me.
I'm the empty ripped. Okay.
done?
Jeez, fuck.
Whoa, man, there's tons of crits today. What's going on? Roll 20 is like ones for everyone.
I don't see myself out there. And Evelyn, you need to make your hit points maxed out.
Oh, sorry. Wait, aren't they?
Your bar
Thalia.
or Thalia, I'm sorry.
Oh, we did rest, right?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
And I don't see my token up. Thank you.
You need to put your health at full.
Oh, snap, Siggy!
Dang.
That's the first time I've seen my potion, dang it.
Bite the hand that heals you. That's a good idea.
There you go.
That's gonna be the name of this session.
I'll get Orvex and Nizak out here too.
When you were describing that ritual, I was thinking of that scene from Rick and Morty with the interdimensional cable Lucky Charms commercial.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're after my Lucky Charms. Oh god. Eat them. Just squeezing them out from the entrails.
Alright, so essentially let's see. So Wuce and Thalia technically like have surprise on everyone.
What? How?
Well, what was your stealth roll, Thalia?
4.
Okay. So never mind for you. As you guys start to approach, you know, the Yanti, you know, some are facing the direction that you're coming from, and they begin to notice some of you emerging out through the darkness. Wuce, you can just act as normal, you know. You're up first, either way.
Okay, is there torch lighting around?
There are up on the edge of the just up on the edge, essentially. I'll draw them.
Because I'm trying to keep from exposing myself in them in case any of these creatures.
There are essentially little torches lighting the top of the pillars here.
And so I'm guessing these two just like large Yanti, or
Yeah.
are either of them looking more responsive and less light cover? Because that would be the one I would go for.
I mean, yeah, the torchlight kind of comes out 5, 10, 15. That was terrible.
You're trying to do the torchlight perimeter?
Yeah.
What, is it 20 feet? Is that what you're doing, or what?
Yeah, 20 feet upright.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So I would be in it for any of those for melee, but
they are still surprised by you, essentially.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it doesn't really matter. They're like, they can't take any actions or reactions towards you or anything like that. So
yeah, I gotcha. I'm gonna just go to the one that's due east of me then, and pop off some melees. All right, here goes nothing. So 18.
18 is a hit. Yeah.
So it's, okay. All right, so 55.
Why'd you roll damage twice?
Because when they're surprised, I could hit them.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. 55.
Okay, this is a question I forgot to ask you before. Now that they're attacked, they're no longer surprised.
No, yeah.
So now
And,
the rest of my
and like some of them are surprised by some of you, and some of them are not surprised by some of you. Like once you have this many people in a combat, it becomes pretty complicated.
well, it just means the rest of my attacks on my turn they're not surprised from it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I'll take my Dread Ambusher attack. $18.
It's good. That's a hit.
For 23. And then I'll attack with my dagger with my offhand for the bonus action. $14.
Is a miss.
And I'm done.
So Thalia, you're up.
All right. Yeah, I can't get to the one that was already attacked, right? From a distance standpoint, like 55 feet.
Yeah, it's about 40 feet away from you.
Okay.
And the ledge around this thing is like difficult terrain.
But I can dash there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how far would I be able to dash? Like 50 feet or
50
something?
feet, 50 feet, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are these purple squares meant to be? Are those like pillars?
Torches.
Torches.
Yeah.
Okay. So, trying to like dash in between those two snake dudes, and my turn there.
Sounds good. So this one nearby you turns and slithers towards you.
Please.
Man, my roll 20 is going so slow right now.
Take your time.
And it's like essentially like a it's this like hunched over scaled like creature. It's got a these big protruding. It's got this big underbite and these sharp fangs that stick up over the front of its face. It has this very scaly body and like a bright orange underbelly, and it also has these long black claws, and as it comes towards you, like a 2-foot long tongue licks out towards you as it like turns and tries to pounce on you. The brood guards look kind of like this. No, I don't have
nice.
I don't have a game running in the background. I don't have anything running in the background.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Those things look fucking brutal.
But it tries to claw into you and it snaps its big fangs towards you, and it doesn't manage to get a good hold on you. It just kind of tears into your armor. And Azaka rolled a pretty shit stealth roll.
Can I make an sorry? Can I make how's it called? A riposte. If an opponent misses me, I can expend a die and attack it back.
Yeah, sure.
With an additional D8. Yes. For the attack roll, that is.
Yeah.
20 plus 1d8.
Is a hit.
Alright. slashing.
Azaka learned her lesson from fighting the kobolds, and she begins to dash towards the flattened pillar of rock here. As she does so, you can see that she begins to slowly sprout fur and becomes a little larger, and turns into her hybrid tiger form as she whips out both of her scimitars and clambers up the side. And let's see. Since none of these guys were surprised by Thalia's stealth roll of 4, I think, Thalia, you will be taking the brunt of these creatures' attacks.
Well, I don't know if this was my intent or not.
You got this, Thalia. Just duck and move, duck and move.
So one of the creatures jumps off this 5-foot ledge here. 15, 20. Climbs up. 30. And he can only end there. But he does draw his... No, I don't think he would do that. Halcyon, you're up.
Halcyon will do a flyby to this guy, give me the help action, and then perch in this tree, and that's the end.
Cool. This guy climbs up this the 5 feet to the top of the structure. 15, 25. And hops down, and he draws a long curved blade, and he begins to take some swipes at you, Thalia, with it.
All right.
Ooh.
Hey!
So he slashes. He's kind of over you, so he slashes kind of over your head, and then he brings his scimitar back around and down at the top of you, and just slams it right into your shoulder at the base of your neck, and hits you for 8 slashing damage.
Aye.
That's the sound you make when you get hit.
Aye.
Yes.
The creature at the base of the stone slab at the head of it, she turns towards you, Thalia, and she's got kind of these like headdress that's made of big green banana leaves that slopes back over the top of her head, and she's got like a silky mane of black hair that tumbles down her back. Her lower form is like the body of a snake, but the upper portions of her body look like a female humanoid. She has like a very like skimpy top on that's essentially just covering her nipples, and it's like a thin tube top that wraps around the. So like her whole shoulders and midriff are all exposed, but she turns towards you and points a finger at you, and she casts a hold person on you, Thalia. So I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, or be paralyzed.
Oh boy. Wow.
So you become paralyzed, but you can make a new saving throw at the end of each of your turns. The DC of which is, I believe, 13.
13. Okay.
Yeah. So one of the brood guards rushes up this set of stairs. 10.
Burns himself on the torch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. He'll go for Azaka.
Oh no, come to me.
Fire isn't too bad, come on.
And then
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
One of the brute guards moved by me. Was that intentional?
he doesn't know you're there, so he's just going out towards the rest of the party.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear the narration of the move, I guess.
Yeah. He slinks out through the darkness around the outside. One of these Yanti that just looks like a full humanoid, but she has, kind of like very angular facial features. They're very sharp and jagged, and she kind of has like little slits, yellow slits for eyes. She hops down with her dagger and attacks you with advantage because you are now paralyzed. With her dagger. Oh wait, I guess she has a scimitar too. I thought these things had daggers. So she also draws a scimitar, a little curved blade, and
Oh boy.
that just strikes you in the same spot as, or essentially on the other side. Just they're like hacking at your throat from above for 7 more slashing damage as her blade slices into an exposed part of your neck. And now you can feel the blood from these 2 cuts dripping down into the insides of your armor. And then she swipes at you one more time for another critical strike for 9 more slashing damage.
Ryan, every time you make a hit, you are doing crit damage no matter what for a paralyzed opponent.
Oh, am I? Oh, gotcha. This creature here, another one of the fully humanoid-looking ones, has like a bit of entrail hanging out of her mouth, and she spits it out, and she starts heading off in this direction towards Azaka. Riceak, you're up.
I will take a shot at that
The one
large
Halcyon
snake.
marked.
Yes, with the bow, and then I will approach with my scimitar strong afterwards. $25 hits.
Oh yeah, for sure.
7
You have
plus
you have advantage though, don't you? Since Halcyon gave you the help action.
Oh, that's true. So I'll just roll again.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay. I'll just take the first one then. And sneak attack. Maybe.
Just in case,
Right. So that is a 23 damage, and I will approach for 30, probably to about. What's his range? Like 10. I want to be just outside of his range, so probably here. So.
His blade is quite long, but he's up on top of that difficult terrain as well. So, you could get right to the edge, and you'd probably still be out of his range.
Okay, perfect. Then I end my turn there.
Another one of the snake creatures begins to slither towards Azaka. And then one of the big guys that Riceak just shot turns towards you, Thalia, with his big blade. And swings at you 3 times.
And he crits all of them?
He just has advantage. If he hits you, then it does crit damage, I guess, right, Garn?
Alright.
Yep, that's what it said.
So 20 is a miss, right?
Yes.
Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet.
So I'll take 24.
I'll roll it.
Fifteen.
27.
27.
Yeah.
Alright.
A paralyzed creature is incapacitated.
Oh, wait, sorry. That shouldn't be a +4. It should just be 11, so 23.
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
A paralyzed creature is incapacitated, yes.
Can't take
Can a
actions
paralyzed
or
creature-
reactions.
Say again.
It can't take actions or reactions.
Can it be willing?
Not sure what you're asking.
Can a paralyzed creature be a willing creature? They don't lose consciousness, they just can't move, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Like in the sense of to an ally, they can be a willing creature. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I was asking.
Sorey, you are up.
I wanted to ask you something really quickly, because I have a concentration spell and it's an evocation spell. For sculpting my spells, does it only work on the first turn that it happens, or do my teammates always make their saving throws no matter what?
I mean, I think even for a concentration spell, you can sculpt it around the indicated number of creatures that is allowed for you.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you are an evoker or whatever, you know.
Right. I just wanted to, because I tried looking it up online. There was no clear definition for it. So.
That's one that I've never come across before. But I don't see why you would be able to, evoke your concentration spells like you would one that's an action or something. You know, that part of the concentration is essentially probably making sure that it doesn't hurt however many allies that you can choose to not affect by it.
So this isn't a fireball, but it's a storm sphere. It's the same size as a fireball, so that's where I'm placing it.
Okay, let me
So, 20-foot radius sphere, whirling air springs into existence, centered on a point I choose within range. The sphere remains for the spell's duration. Each creature in the sphere, when it appears or at the end of its turn, must succeed on a strength saving throw or take 2d6 bludgeoning damage. The sphere's space is difficult terrain. Until the spell ends, I can use my bonus action on each turn to make a bonus action attack. It said, our creatures within 30 feet of the sphere have disadvantage on wisdom perception checks made to listen.
so they take 2d6 damage right away or at the start of their turn?
Right away,
Okay.
and then at the start of their turns thereafter.
Strength saves for everyone.
Yes.
That lightning damage is pretty nice too.
What's your DC?
16.
So two of the big dudes one of the big dudes passes. One of the brood guard passes. Let's see. There's three of those guys. All three of those guys pass. The Malison type 5s, the half man, half snakehead guys. Those chicks. Man, there's so many creatures. One of the scantily clad full humanoid form women passes.
Is it the one that cast the spell or the one that didn't cast the spell?
I haven't rolled her quite yet.
Okay.
She's the nightmare speaker is what she is called. So she fails and has to make a concentration saving throw.
10 or better.
So her spell remains. They all take the damage either way, right?
Only if they failed their save.
Okay, so roll me your damage.
It was already rolled.
Oh, was it? 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I also affected since I'm in the area?
Well, I sculpted the spell, so you're not.
All
affected.
right. Okay.
And then for my bonus action, which one was the spellcaster?
They all
On the-
have all the creatures have like a very similar strength bonus. So the only one who has a better one are the huge dudes. So to make it a little faster, I'll just do the one that's I'll just use one save for all of them. That's the +3 instead of the +4, so it makes it go a little quicker.
The spellcaster is
Okay.
the one that's still up on the high,
The DS, yeah,
the one that's right next to the sacrifice. Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Okay, and then everyone in the storm sphere, I attack them with my bonus action lightning attack with advantage if they're in the sphere within 60 feet of the center point, I believe.
Nice.
60 feet of the center point, so that means they don't even have to be in the sphere.
Hold on, let me reread it.
That would mean, I mean, if that's how it reads, that means you would actually hit all the creatures, right?
Bonus action. You have advantage on the attack roll if the target is in the sphere. Never. But it has a 60. The attack itself has a 60-foot range.
So it just hits one creature.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna attack that spellcaster with my bonus action attack.
Nice.
And then it is with advantage because they're in the sphere.
Oh my god!
So lightning cracks out from Sorey, and it's.
It actually comes from the center of the sphere.
Oh, does it?
Ah,
So
gotcha.
yeah, a bolt of lightning cracks out and crashes down into the stonework right beside the caster. Essentially it hits one of the torches next to her, and the torch like explodes in a burst of light, and it gets a little darker on one edge of the DS.
Which edge is that?
I'll delete it if I can select it.
Egg salad.
And is that it for Sorey?
Yep.
Nice. Eve, Eva.
I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on her.
Okay.
And then with the extra attack I get from the Paladin, I can cast 2 Eldritch Blasts, right?
No, it's your level.
If you take the attack action, yeah, it's based on your level, I believe.
Yeah. Then I will try to do that. It's the first one.
14 is a hit.
Nice. So those are 2 beams.
You have to roll a
Oh,
separate.
wait, sorry.
You have to roll a separate attack for each beam. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And that's the second one that hits.
21 hits as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they also get 2d6 from the Hunter's Bane.
Hunter's Mark. Is it Hunter's Bane or Hunter's Mark?
Hunter's Mark. Sorry.
Wow, Hunter's Mark is 2d6.
Well, she hit twice.
For every whenever I hit it with an
yeah,
wait,
a d6 of extra.
No, sorry, it says weapon attack.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I don't. Yeah, scrap that. Sorry.
Just 11 total.
But she's marked.
And you need 2
Con
saving
throw.
throws.
Yeah.
10 or better.
Oh.
So Thalia, you are no longer paralyzed.
Yay!
Can I still move a bit closer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move up here, and then I'm done.
Well done, Sigismund.
I think it's actually Garn. Yes, 2. I have 1.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because you rolled after.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go, Garn. I'll move you up. You were just out of the turn order on my tracker.
Yeah, I know. Let's see here.
I wonder wonder if they all have similar wisdom scores as well.
What's the stat on the spellcaster? What is that?
What's the stat?
That little status thing.
Oh, Hunter's
That's
Mark.
my hunter's mark.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks. And also, does that storm sphere? What's it look like? Does it have any sort of like visual to it? It doesn't read that it impedes vision at all. I was just curious what it looks like.
So it's the two big ones and one of the little ones over here.
It's a sphere of whirling air.
It says it's heavy winds. Got it.
They all
So
fail.
yeah.
Take 20 damage from Spirit Guardians.
Yep.
Nice.
So which little one got it?
The one next to you, Wuce.
Gotcha.
Is that one in it? I can't tell.
I think he's like. Oh, let me zoom in.
That's fine.
He's like right on the edge. Roll a d20 for me, and if you get above a 10, I'll move his token up slightly. He's like right on the border. I'd say like if 50% of his token were in your range, then he would take it. So it's only like 10%
No
of his
problem.
token. Yeah. Let's see. I still need to give this guy the damage. 40.
What's the range on the Spirit Guardians?
15
15
feet.
foot. 15 foot.
Yeah.
15 feet from you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The monkeys are having a hard time in the
In the difficult
wind.
terrain. Yeah. And the wind too. Yeah. Spirit Guardians are being blown all around. You gonna drop a spiritual weapon down too, or anything?
Yes. Thank you. I forgot about that. Spiritual weapon on the.
I know how you do it. I know how you do it.
But it missed, but it's on that spellcaster.
Okay, gotcha. Man, I swear I rolled for Orvex. I don't know why he's not on the. I'll add him this round. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. And Sigismund, you're up.
Yee. Want to move to here. Sword and shield. I want to hit this guy.
Cool.
Thank you for moving there.
That's what I was saying.
Let's see. Ooh, that's not good.
How many red numbers today?
Yeah, you swing and you strike into the stonework with your blade, and it kind of like reverberates back into your hand. Because I'm not thinking very clearly right now. I can't think of a good critical fail for you, so that's all that happens.
Oh yes. Well, then I gave it a go. Ah, 24.
24 is a hit.
7 damage. That's me.
Gotcha. Wuce.
You want to have Orvex go, since he's pretty high initiative?
Oh yeah. Well,
Otherwise he uses
I'll
that
reset
crazy.
the turn order, so he'll go after you.
I was trying to make it so he didn't lose a round, but okay.
I can have him shoot. 1, 2. You see a little crossbow bolt sink into the chest of the big guy in front of you and Sigismund. And now you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna go for the big guy. Yeah. Using nails.
27. Oh yeah, 19's a hit.
17.
He had 18 hit points left.
Dude, I rolled 2 ones on the poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use my bonus attack to dagger him, I guess.
How does he die?
Oh, I thought you said he had 1 hit point left.
But I mean, I assume you're gonna hit him. You have offhand attacks still as well too, right?
That is my offhand would be the dagger.
Oh, okay.
I'll just
Yeah.
I'll just roll. Okay, yeah. I'm guessing 24 hits.
Yeah, 24 is a hit.
I'm gonna jump up aerially and do like a 360 and slit his throat with the dagger.
He topples off the edge of the little cliff face there between you and Sigismund with a heavy thud. His large curved scimitar goes tumbling off at Garn's feet, and his snake-like body lies motionless between you.
I say dinner served. That's my turn.
Now Orvex will shoot again at the guy behind you, Sigismund.
I don't have a lot of faith in him.
He actually hits it. One of his crossbow bolts sinks into the creature's shoulder, lets out a low hissing sound as it turns its head over its shoulder towards Orvex. Thalia, one of the brood guards in front of you, makes some attacks. He slashes out with his claws and then tries to bite your face.
Tough luck.
Yep. And you're up.
Alright, so I'll attack the big dudes like in front of me. That's left. Second wind is a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So it doesn't really matter in which order I do it. The action or the bonus action, right?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So I'll attack first. 22.
Yep.
I assume.
Which guy are you swinging at? The one just directly in front of you?
Yeah, the one down the big dude. This guy.
The big dude. Gotcha.
Yeah. 8. And then attack him again. Oh, 11.
Is a miss.
Probably
Yeah.
Is a miss. Alright, so I'll heal myself with second wind. It's 1d10 plus level, which should be 8, right?
Yeah, I think so. You guys are level 8,
Oh.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a second. Wow, I healed for 9. Wrong. Okay, and that's my turn.
Cool. This guy hops down this difficult terrain. 10, 15, and takes damage when he enters your spirit guardians if he fails his save.
Right. Half if you didn't. It was 20 points.
Yeah.
Hey, did that other guy after Orvex, did he end his turn in the sphere?
Yes, he did. Yeah. Oh no, wait. This guy did not. This guy did. Yeah, this guy did. So he takes the damage again.
I'm just gonna roll the damage again for this turn.
Yeah, that works.
Good rolls.
Ha, sick.
Half damage, right, Garn, on a succeed?
Yep.
And strength save. So he gets a jolt of electricity, takes his 6 damage. It's at the end of their turn if they're in the sphere.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Riceak, one of the half man, half snake guys, clambers his way down and around towards you with his curved blade drawn. He makes 2 melee attacks against you. 23 for 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
Most of these guys have spell resistance, which I have not been taking into account, but that's alright. Azaka takes her 2 blades and tries to drive them into one of the brood guards. One of them slashing into him for 5. And Halcyon.
Halcyon will do a flyby on this guy and then return to her perch.
The guy above you starts his turn in Sorey's Thalia. Lightning Storm makes a strength save. Takes 6 damage. And then swings at you with his blades. Or with his blade.
Which one is it? Oh, thank you.
If you hover over,
So actually he has magic resistance, so he takes that 19 and he passes.
does it matter what type of damage it is? Probably not, right?
They do have damage. Oh shit! They also have immunity to your poison as well. Some of them do, but that's all right. This is just my bad because I'm not really paying as close of attention as I normally might be because I'm having trouble breathing.
Gotcha. Garn, if you hover over the token in the turn order, it'll highlight which one it is on the map.
Gotcha, thank you.
21, Thalia?
Nope.
Okay.
Thalia's
The
beast.
spellcaster,
Make your save. Oh, never mind. That's at the end of the turn.
so the 60 feet. So the spellcaster sees you coming towards all her minions, Garn, and she raises her hands up in the air and looks towards you, and she invokes a nightmare. So make an intelligence saving throw of a DC 13 for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna counterspell it.
So this is not a spell.
Never mind that.
It's like an innate ability.
Okay. Say intelligence. That's my worst one.
So you begin to see flashbacks in your mind of Sorey and a mysterious dark creature behind him, flaying parts of your skin off as you lay, much like this woman that's just recently died on this bench, strapped down to a table. You take 12 psychic damage.
Made it.
And you are frightened of the manifestations in your mind, believing them to be real. She has to concentrate on this. It lasts up to 1 minute, though. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, ending the illusion, or taking another 2d10 psychic damage on a failure. So you are currently under the effects of her nightmare vision.
Gotcha. She didn't move. Is she done?
She is done.
Takes the 6 bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Well, she has to make the save, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
One of the brood guards attacks Azaka, and then makes their strength save, and takes the 6 bludgeoning. And one of the purebloods swings at you with her scimitar, Thalia, twice. Both missing.
Yes.
Makes her strength save. Broodguard behind you, Sigismund and Wuce, dashes towards Orvex, provoking attack of opportunities from both of you, as well as making a wisdom save for your spirit guardians, Garn.
Yep. 20 points. Hey, Wuce, you want to hear some good news?
Yes.
You can get, if you had advantage, I don't know if you do, but if you had advantage, you can get your sneak attack on a reaction roll like that.
Well, he's dead either way. Garn's spirit guardians begin to overwhelm the creature as he starts moving towards Orvex, and then Sigismund and Wuce both almost in turn whip around and drive your blades into the back of the creature, and he essentially like falls skidding forward a few feet, dead on the floor. One of the purebloods moves towards Azaka, making a couple of attacks with her scimitar, and then makes a strength saving throw. One of them hits Azaka for 3, and then she takes 6 damage from your spell, Sorey. And Riceak, you're up. All right, I think I have everybody's onboard abilities down right now.
I'm gonna attack this guy that slithered down the hill there that I just pinged with the scimitar.
13 is a miss. Oh, it's a hit, actually.
It's a hit. All right, then I get the green flame blade on that as well.
Nice.
And then I will have.
So he takes 8, and then the big guy next to him takes 10.
Right, that's correct.
48. Don't you get your like just regular blade damage as well?
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the catch. I appreciate it. So it's another 11.
25, 6, 34 total on that guy, and 10 on the other. Nice.
And then I will take my offhand on this guy.
Nice.
So, not much extra, but still.
Is that auto crit roll for you?
Auto
Yeah.
crit roll.
It did.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
double.
Gotcha.
And that's my turn.
Nice. I like that green flame blade.
Yeah, that's a nice little. Wait, that's a cantrip? What is that?
It is, I
Yeah,
think, right?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So the big hulking dude next to you, Thalia, brings his blade down on you, or attempts to, anyways. $21 is a miss.
Yes. Yeah.
And then he makes a strength save. And he also makes a wisdom saving throw. So he fails the wisdom save, takes 20. And
That's from the Guardians,
yes.
and the strength is for the storm. Gotcha.
Yep. And then one of the Malicens rushes up towards Azaka. Makes some attacks against Azaka for 4. And makes a strength saving throw. And fails, and takes 6 from your spell, Sorey. And Evelyn, you're up.
I'm gonna attack the big one with my greatsword.
Nice.
14.
14 is just a miss.
Okay. But then I'm gonna send an Eldritch Blast to the spellcaster. 16 for the first.
Yeah,
That's
16 is a hit. Yeah.
Neat. So that's the first one. 15.
15 is a hit as well.
Nice.
Can we do that? Can we cast a spell as our second attack action?
If it's a bonus action.
The Eldritch Blast, I don't believe it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, like you could like make a sword attack and then you couldn't do it. Yeah.
We can do that?
You
Okay.
can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't.
Ooh.
Cannot.
Nice.
Cannot.
Oh.
Cannot. That's my bad. It's you can either take your sword attack. You can either take your sword attacks, or you can do the 2 blasts.
But according to what you were saying before about spellcasting, you could use it as a bonus action because it's a cantrip. If you casted another spell in your turn, though, is that what you're saying? I'm asking for clarification on it. I'm not
I'm slightly confused now.
assuming
sorry.
anything.
Well, so if you have essentially, I'm allowing people to use their bonus actions as bonus actions, even if they've cast a spell, right? So Garn can cast a spell and then cast a bonus action spell. That's not how it is as rules is written. The rules is written is you can cast a spell with an action or a bonus action tag, and then cast a cantrip if it also is a bonus action.
Wait, but
Right. It's cantrip
Well,
on
the
the
cantrip can be a
But with the extra attack, that's.
If you take the attacks, if you take the attack action, you can attack. You can take your attacks, and if you have a spell that's a bonus action, I would allow you to
okay.
cast it. Yeah.
Okay.
Rito, it's on page 202 of the players if you want to look at that.
So the cantrip isn't automatically considered a bonus action.
No, there's some cantrips that are and some cantrips that aren't.
I know. I know what the rules say. I'm just going off of what I remember reading when you guys brought it up in discussion.
Oh,
I
okay,
was getting
cool.
clarification on that. Okay, gotcha. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Definitely.
You'd asked about it before. think
Yeah,
it
I
was
know, I
on-
know.
If I said a cantrip, did I say all cantrips are bonus actions?
That's what I'm asking.
I don't remember saying it, but did I say it?
You never said it.
Okay. So they would still be like, if they have a bonus action tag, then. it's a
Then you
bonus
could
action,
use.
yeah.
Then you can cast it as a bonus action.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you specifically said if they have the tag.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So just like a bonus action spell, it's the same. But typically you're only allowed to cast a spell and then a cantrip, not a spell and then another spell with a bonus action.
But you're saying you can do it if it's a bonus action, though.
Yeah, I've been doing it that way the whole campaign.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's okay. Just making.
So I guess
Just
like
clarify.
it would be essentially fair or similar for a fighter to take an attack action and then be able to cast a spell with a bonus action. It would be kind of the same thing, right?
If it was a bonus action, though.
If it is a bonus action, yeah.
Okay. Like Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. And like my Curse of Strahd game, like I'm doing more rules as written for that one. Like they're not able to use their bonus action spells after they've cast a spell. They can only use cantrips. I just did it differently for this game because usually every time I run a game, I just do different things,
But they can only use the cantrip if the cantrip's a bonus action.
Correct.
Gotcha.
They're like more by the book. That game's like more by the book.
Word.
So do you want to just take your full attack action on that guy?
Yeah, I'm just
Evelyn?
gonna hit it with the sword
Okay,
again.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I assume that
28
hits.
is a hit, yeah. 15.
I'm proud of you, Ryan. You said her name right.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Sometimes I go into like this, like it's almost kind of like a DM blackout mode where it's like everything. I start like remembering everything, you know, the right way. So that's what's happening right now. Is that your turn, Evelyn?
Yeah.
Cool. Sorey, you're up. And we'll have a break after this combat.
Now it's a fireball.
Now it's a fireball. So we'll do some dex saves for everyone here. Let's
see some red numbers.
How many creatures are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what's your spell DC? 17?
16.
16?
I believe.
So
Yeah.
only 2 of them pass. So let's see. I go down the line. So this guy, I'll mark the red guy, the ones in red that pass. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 2 pass and take half damage. Your spell was 26, so 13. 30, 50. And then 13 for this guy. And then everyone else takes the full 26.
Is that nightmare? Does that require concentration?
It does, so she'll also make a concentration check. Yeah.
Did she make it or not make it?
I haven't rolled it yet. I haven't rolled it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll do the damage to everybody first.
Red number. All those rolls and only 2 red numbers. Got the luck of the digital dice.
So one of the brood guards goes up in a ball of fire. When the magical flames subside, there's a blackened, charred corpse in front of you, Thalia.
How nice. The fireball did not hit me, or do I have to make a save as well?
No, it did not hit you.
Alright.
Sorry, it's a sculptor. Is that what it's called? Spell sculpting?
Yeah, spell. That's the thing, spell sculpting. But I'm an evoker, and that's why I have that.
Gotcha. I was just trying to remember the name of the ability.
And now it would be a DC 13 con save, right?
Yeah, if it didn't make it DC 13 because it's half the damage.
Yep.
What it is.
Yes.
Your vision is no longer, or your mind is no longer being assaulted by nightmares of Sorey torturing you, Garn. And I think I gave oh no, I missed this guy. He takes, oh man, he had 27 hit points left, so he's got 1. The abomination. Bummer. Garn,
The big guy?
Yeah, the big guy.
Well, wait. I still have a bonus action.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I'm gonna attack the spellcaster.
With the lightning?
Yes. Does a 15 hit?
It does.
Whoop.
The spellcaster, though, not the big guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 21, 19. Garn, you're up.
She gotta be looking hurt right now.
She's looking pretty hurt, yeah. Nice.
If I move up, I'm afraid that I will be in that storm, and I don't want to be. So
He can sculpt around up to 4, right? Sorry.
5 technically with this spell.
Reroll your Spirit Guardian's damage for me for the next round of combat.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
The caster, I'm going to hit with Toll of the Dead. So wisdom saving throw. She made it.
Damn.
Yep, right at 16. Well, she's probably got advantage. And then I'm going to hit her with the... so this one right here and that one right there... because that's the first time they've been in it.
The two on the lip, the ledge.
Yeah. And then also going to hit the spellcaster with the thingamajigger. Spiritual weapon. Dang. Does a 10 hit?
It does not.
And that's my turn.
Sigismund.
All right. Well, let's see if we can't blast that girl down. This one. With some Eldritch Blasts. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like,
Blows up in my face.
no, it just, like, shoots, like, off up into the sky, you know? I don't have any good crit fail shit right now, man. I'm sorry.
All right. I'll just kind of look embarrassed, and I'll hold my own wrist, like trying to aim better.
Yeah.
I have another go. Oh no!
All right. This time, like, you know, those those words like ring out from Galadia, like caution, not confidence, and you're just like still not quite getting that part of her message, and your Eldritch Blast essentially, like after your first one fails, the second one does just explode in your hand, and you take the damage of your own Eldritch Blast. So roll the damage of it. Yeah.
3 9s, huh?
Well, that wasn't impressive.
I think it's impressive that you rolled 3 1s.
Are you gonna move or anything?
Nah, I'm gonna look embarrassed. That's about all I can do.
All right.
Bonus action, look embarrassed.
Wuce, you're up.
How's Azaka looking?
She's in her hybrid form, so she's 113 out of 120.
I mean, she's holding her own, right?
Oh yeah, she's fine.
And then what's the elevation to the main platform?
Each level is like essentially 5 feet, except for the bottom portion, which is like difficult terrain per square. So would be like each square would be 10 feet of movement up to the ledge.
Up to the ledge?
Yeah, so this distance would cost you 20 feet to get to here.
So to get to there would be 20, 30?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move to that spot and try attacking the caster.
Cool, sounds good. $25 is she is immune to poison damage.
Damn young tease.
Okay, and then I'll attack her with my offhand too.
Okay. 20 is a hit. How do you kill her?
I try and mimic the wounds, the type of cutting they did to the ritual. I like kind of reenact the sacrifice ritual on her though.
You jam your blade into her chest cavity and drag it down to her belly button essentially. Her
Pull out the
entrails, her entrails begin to spill out from her stomach onto the floor of the DS and over your forearm as you drag your blade down. It's getting messy up here.
How's it feel?
She just gurgles and spits out a bit of blood as she falls. Her slithery snake tail kind of stops holding up the rest of her body, and she falls like onto her belly on the stone dais, where on top of the other woman essentially who was sacrificed, and all their entrails are now kind of like combining together into a big soupy pool of guts and blood.
I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
Orvex fires a shot up at one of the creatures nearby Azaka.
You gotta hold that gun, dude.
And one of his bolts hits the brood guard. This is a dead person. Thalia, you're up.
Yes, I'm attacking the big guy again.
19 is a hit. Yeah.
14 damage.
How do you kill him?
I just behead him.
Okay, nice.
No time for this shit.
Nice and modest.
Swing your blade in a wide arc, cutting through the thick, meaty neck of the large creature. His head topples down the little side of the bank of the stone pillar here that the old temple used to rest upon, and lands at your feet, Riceak. Its dead snake-like eyes looking up at you as its tongue hangs out of its mouth.
Very nice. I stand on it like Captain Morgan.
And as you oh, sorry, go ahead, Thalia.
Yeah, then I'll turn around and attack this guy.
Okay, gotcha.
For the second attack.
20 is a hit.
20. 8.
8 slashing.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
As you put your boot up on the head of the snake head that fell at your feet there, Riceak, you remember that there's still another snake creature next to you that begins to swing his scimitar at you ferociously. 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 9 slashing damage.
Don't forget to make your save.
Oh yeah, and he makes a wisdom saving throw.
10 points.
God, why is my roll 20 going so damn slow? Azaka swings her scimitar at the brood guard, and she drives it deep into its chest. It crumples on one of her blades, and then she swings the other one at the pureblood, impaling her as well. And they both kind of slump onto Azaka's blades. She actually lifts the pureblood up off the ground and tosses her over the edge, essentially. And the brood guard, she just draws her blade out from the creature as it falls dead to the floor. And Halcyon.
Halcyon will do a same maneuver, go in, do a flyby at that same guy next to me, and then return to her perch.
The last remaining one there up on the ledge by you, Thalia, makes a couple attacks against you, and then makes a wisdom saving throw and a strength saving throw.
Busy man.
21 from mine.
And then your DC is 17 or 16, Sorey?
16.
Okay, so
Oh, should I re-roll the damage, I guess, since it's a new turn?
yeah, you can reroll the damage. That's fine. 21. And so this is a dead person. This is a dead person. This is a dead person. These are all dead people. Riceak, you're up.
All right, I'll go ahead and repeat the same maneuver. Attack with the scimitar.
How do you kill him?
I cut off his head, and then I have 2 heads to stand on.
Nice.
Dex saving throw for balance.
One of the abomination's head's big enough that it's like pretty easy to stand on, without having to affect your balance too much.
It's like a boulder.
Yeah, it's like a boulder. Anything else?
No, that's it. Keep it simple.
Yep. The one up by the last remaining one up there by Azaka, or the second to last one up there by Azaka, considers his options and decides to die fighting with honor, or what he considers honor. Hits Azaka for 4. And Evelyn, you're up.
I want to move my hunter's mark to this guy as a bonus action.
Can do.
Then can I attack him from here with my greatsword, or is he up on the ledge?
Yeah, you can balance. I mean, it's like kind of a slope, so you can get kind of up there and dig your feet in and attack him. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah.
I guess
23 is a hit. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that plus the d6 from hunter's mark
is just enough to get him, even if you roll a 1. So how do you kill him?
Okay.
Yeah.
I just shimmy between Garn and Thalia, go like, sorry, and then just take a big swing and cut his torso off.
Yeah, as you're swimming or shimmering or shimmying between Thalia and Garn, you hear the voice in your head. Come on, stab one of them. But you manage to just make your way through and kill the snake.
Okay.
Anything
I don't
else?
get anything from it. Do I?
What do you mean?
The soul thing.
Oh, well, that's up to you.
Okay.
Do you want to? Because it's kind of like a visual thing happens when you do this. So that's
I need.
Okay.
I need.
Yep. So as you drive your blade into the snake creature, you feel Ava deep inside you begging to be fed. And as you drive your blade into the snake man, dark energy begins to swirl down the blade of your greatsword and into your body. Then the dark necrotic energy kind of disperses, and you hear Ava go, "Ah." And you have 1/4 of a soul.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there.
Okay.
And what was the visual of it?
The basically the soul being sucked into the sword.
Alrighty then.
Nothing.
Yeah, you essentially see this dark kind of mass of energy get pulled out from the snake guy, and then that dark mass of energy begins to swirl. Black tendrils begin to swirl down the blade towards Evelyn, and then you see the energy kind of absorb into her body.
Nah, that's not scary.
Yeah. Sorey, you're
I
up.
said nothing suspicious. Nah. Let's not.
There's
I'm gonna walk up.
one creature left, I believe.
Yeah, it's up by Azaka.
Yep.
Oh shit! Get in the melee range.
Aw, I missed.
Oh,
But yes,
11 is a miss as well.
it's with advantage because he's still in the sphere.
Oh, nice. 19 is a hit. For 14 lightning damage. I've been running all these creatures like very wrong this entire fight, but that's just something that I have to live with myself, you know, so.
as far as resistance.
They have like spell advantage and poison advantage, and they took a bunch of damage that they probably never should have, but I just, I'm operating at like 40% efficiency right now, so.
Thanks for powering through.
Make your saving throw.
Twenty-one.
I like
21 points of damage from that. Total of the dead. Another saving throw, wisdom. $14 from that.
The creature, all your spiritual animals begin to swarm over him, and as they kind of all converge on his body, you see him put his hands up over his head, and he kind of crumples into your spiritual guardians as they just begin to tear away his snake-like scales and flesh, and when they all disperse from him, he's like a pile of all his skin's been kind of ripped away, and his eyes have like rolled back into his head and become like these glossy white orbs. And I think everyone's dead now. So we'll take a mid-session break real quick, and we'll come back for the remainder of our session after.
Noise.
Hey Ryan. Oh, he's already gone.
What's
I'll
up?
go.
What's up?
Maybe you should restart your program to see if 20 will be better.
Yeah, I could try and maybe I'll reset my computer. Yeah.
I don't know, just suggestion.
Yeah. I did before the session. I'm not sure why. It could just be that there's high traffic right now or something, like on whatever server I've connected to through Roll20. But I'll try.